Right, here we go. Another day, another dollar. Well, we just did some wonderful analysis in the course member live stream. Fantastic fundamental deep dives on a few different companies, just like we do every day. And then we come in here and we're like, oh, gotta stretch all that hard work. But anyway, no, hey, broadly, numbers today, overall, I mean, Taiwan Semi, woo, such good numbers. Great numbers out of Taiwan Semi, great numbers on unemployment claims and continuing claims. Those are obviously a lagging indicator, but still short-term positive. We got dialed back on threats against Iran. Trump dials back threats against good old Vladimir Putin. I mean, Jerome Powell. I don't know if we can tell the difference. That's something Trump would say. And then, of course, here we are. We are knocking on the door of 627 again. This was the line. This was our test this morning in the course member live stream in the Alpha Report. In the Alpha Report this morning, we said, don't do anything until 5 minutes goes by. Because if we lose 627, you need to prove we can get through 627. So even though everything was bullish this morning, the first 5 minutes, what happens? Profit taking, stonk down. And then we were in the live stream. I'm like, guys, we lost 627. This is what we thought a risk was in the first 5 minutes. We said it in the Alpha Report. Sometimes the benefit of the Alpha Report is telling you not to do something. And we go, before you do anything, wait to see if we can actually break out of the 627 line. It's a very important line. Folks, we couldn't even get 1 minute to close over 627. So, as much as I want to be enthusiastic and bullish, we should be cautious. The technicals tell us this exactly. Excuse me. I need some more tea. Anyway, so watch the technicals. In my opinion, we're creating opportunities. I think it's hilarious that so much money is going towards a lot of these small caps, like Dave & Buster's and Fun, that are frankly more on the brink, more reliant on a pretty impoverished consumer. And it's creating discounts at, frankly, a lot of companies. I mean, even Nvidia is selling cheap relative to its earnings, and it's remarkable. Now, obviously, there's, a lot of hedging going on because of artificial intelligence hardware, but I'll tell you, still, it's impressive, the numbers that some of these companies are not only generating, but what they're selling for. Whether it's TSM, Microsoft, Netflix, Meta, Apple's been on a little bit of a downstroke lately. Although, let me see. I don't know if Apple's got the cheapest valuation. Apple. Let me throw them in really quick. I haven't done Apple in here. We have a special tab where we like to put these things. It's our stonk tab. And let's go throw in Apple. We'll just do it together really quickly. We'll just call it a valuation check, and we'll submit it together. So we'll do APL. I'll go with some kind of gray logo for Apple. Okay, Apple. So what we have for Apple, my favorite Apple. And then we'll get into some of the geopolitics that we've got going on as well. So, forecasts for Apple. By the way, Taiwan Semi gave a bullish outlook for high-end smartphone chips, which is theoretically bullish for Apple. 2026 estimates for Apple, $8.23. Growth forecast for Apple coming in at 11.1, 9, 8.2, 9.5 for the next 4 years. That puts me at about a 9.45 average. I'll match Wall Street on that. I'll go with that. And Apple is such a high margin producer and a contract manufacturer. We'll go with a service valuation for them. So Apple should be Apple. Oops. Stand by just one so we can get the valuation on Apple. Daddy Kevin made a little oopsies. There we go. I accidentally duplicated it. Okay. So we have, that's what I thought. 3.34 peg. That's a little on the high side, right? So Wall Street, we could go green check that. Wall Street is forecasting 9.45% growth next 4 years, 27 on, right? And yeah, it puts Apple, if you factor that in at Wall Street's estimate, so not adjusted for Kevin's opinion, I actually think they'll grow faster than that. But I mean, even if they grew at 15%, what's that going to bring them to? 260 divided by 823 is 31 times. There's still a 2 peg at that point. So they have to be like 16. If I put them at 16, then they'd look a lot better. They'd be at about 2 peg. They'd have some upside. So Apple really needs to impress with growth, which I think they could pull off if they finally come out with larger, artificial intelligence products, which they are, or they're trying to. You're seeing it now with the software that they're trying to bring to Numbers or whatever, their Apple Intelligence integration. Still in this massive wedge pattern over here on the Qs, and so far that breakout we've been looking for on Bitcoin has been happening. We talked about this convergence over here that was pretty equal, setting up for about a $14,000 move. I think we'll be knocking on the door of 102 pretty soon. So pretty impressive, and I think it's coming. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Wall Street is underestimating Apple's growth. Somebody here says Apple's personalized AI will kick for all iPhone users. I agree. I agree with that. But for right now, we've settled down to the 100 DMA. And if you look at Netflix, I think did we bounce off? No, we haven't bounced off anything. We're under both the 100 and the 200. We're now losing the 90-97 support line, which suggests 77 is in the future. And this is a cash cow, mind you. And Meta is another one that's about to lose 607 again. It's pretty remarkable, actually. Okay, good. So we'll watch this 627 reject. Let's go see what's going on in the world. Pop that open. Get a little bit of our tea flowing. Ah, yes. Okay. Good old green tea. All right, so what do we got here? Amazon is buying America's first new copper output in more than a decade. Why? Oh, for data center construction, right. For the electrical lines. Wow, that's incredible. Rushing to secure the power and critical minerals necessary to build the infrastructure. That's remarkable. Iran's heavy crackdown quells protests. Well, that's what they wanted. That was the thought. Like, if you just kill everyone, you send a signal and you send people home. It's crazy. Let's see here. Saks, that was a complete disaster. Amazon's going to take a big L on Saks. I think somewhere like a $425 million L. I mean, their stock's up, so the stock doesn't really care. It's just like a rounding error for them. About Ninjas donates $10. Oh, thank you for that. Somebody says, what bank do you recommend for small business? I feel like you were like paid to ask that, so I could put my affiliate link up. Yeah, it's free, dude. Like, Mercury is free. I think you get $250 if you use my link, metkevin.com/bank or mekevin.com/bank, whatever. But it's really good. Highly recommend. I don't understand why it's free either. So, okay, let's take a look at this. Is the economy booming? Okay, so what is this? On the heels of better than expected economic reports, Atlanta raised its estimates at a sizzling 5.3% annual rate. This is for the Atlanta Fed real GDP. Stop it. What is HouseHack? You know. Yeah. If this holds when the Commerce Department starts issuing estimates next month, It officially suggests a remarkable rebound since the start of last year. Yeah, when the economy was actually shrinking. Correct. That is true. Let's see. Robust tax season. The U.S. consumer seems to be flush. That's an interesting way to put it. Let me see if I can write down some of this stuff on the consumer. All right. Yeah, no spamming meme coins in the chat, please. Otherwise, I'm going to have to put you in timeout. Okay. So, as the largest banks report profit rising, there's a note. The American consumer continues to spend and borrow at a healthy clip, despite uncertainty. Yeah, I mean, this is normal. The consumer will always spend, right? Wall Street Journal, op-ed, reports, consumer seems flush, keeps spending and borrowing. This is normal, mind you. Very normal. U.S. consumers generally don't slow spending until they lose their jobs. Generally, there we go. Okay. Bank isn't seeing signs that people are borrowing more or saving less. CFO says he sees a lot of discrepancy across income brackets. Retail sales up 0.6 in November. Commerce Department said up sharply from October. Sales were up across categories at the beginning of last year. Specialty shops. Retail sales did rise. Rose 0.6% in November, which that's actually phenomenal. Because if you think about it, this was a beat. That works out to 7.2%. Wow. Sales were up. Specialty home improvement even rose. Wow. Home improvement, specialty stores up. There we go. Yes. As for expectations, consumers have expressed caution, negativity to pollsters. Consumers have not evolved into full-blown exuberance. Sure. Speaking of the Fed, independence of the Fed, Powell's testimony, blah-de-blah-de-blah-de. We already know about the independence of the Fed stuff, so I'm going to skip a lot of that. What do we have here? 45% of adults identified as political independents. Hell yeah. Meanwhile, an equal share identified as either Democrats or Republicans. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was that much recently. 45% of Americans identify as independents now. 27% Dem or Republican. Huh. Independent percentage has been rising the last 15 years. Okay, that's the tilt towards Dems. That's what you're going to see in midterms. Huh. Let's see. They didn't actually really tell us much about the economy. Party identification has been slipping the last 20 years. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, whatever. People are just surprising. Everybody seems to be picking up on the party identification. Okie dokie. Trump threatens to enact the Insurrection Act in Minnesota protest. Warner doesn't need to disclose Netflix deal details. Oh, there's a win for Netflix. ICE targets Meta site under construction. Oh, wow. Why are you attacking data centers now? Seizing the oil tanker. Let's take a look at both of these. ICE agents started targeting data centers. Traffic stops on dump trucks on the way to the site. 2 drivers were arrested due to immigration status. Wow. That's interesting. Hey, let's build a bunch of data centers. Oh, let's deport the people building them. Okay. U.S. forces seize the 6th oil tanker. Oh, here we go. Let's talk about oil for a little bit. Yeah, sixth oil tanker seizure. A pre-dawn raid launched from the U.S. Gerald Ford in the Caribbean. That's kind of cool. I feel like that would be fun to do. You know, I want to be a raider. In a Caribbean. That's very cool. Let's see here. Moving to protect the Dark Fleet. Let's see. Businessman. Let's see. Okay, Trump cracked down on the Dark Fleet that transports sanctioned oil. 5th last week. Significant impact on Venezuela's exports. Let's see here. Only ships that are loading crude at Venezuela's ports are loading tankers bound for the U.S. Lol. Because we're taking it. Working with the Venezuelan government to receive crude. They've been blocked from going to China. Blocking the oil from going to China. Let's see. Whether or not the Dark Fleet will be able to resume shipping to China basically can't be known. Very interesting. Let's see what people say about it. It amazes me that the U.S. seems to have the power to enforce sanctions, but didn't use that power until recently. I think there's a huge difference between saying we will not trade with a country who trades with a belligerent than becoming belligerent ourselves and capturing ships. Uh-huh. Yeah, and then, of course, people get into bagging on Biden. It's pretty normal. Okay. How is oil pricing looking right now? Oh, down a lot. More than, 4% after Trump, tentatively walks back from strikes. We'll take a look at Goolsby in just a moment. But I want to see if there's anything else on oil here. Let's go oil. Because oil helps the consumer, mind you, right? Like, oil's downtrend has been going on for a while. Oil. Yeah, we have been on a downtrend of oil prices since 2022. Which is really interesting because the economy has really held up during that time. It seems to be just, I wonder what the rig counts are right now. Oil rig counts. China says, Kevin, I've been a course member since 2018, 28 with $500K of home equity. I'm thinking of doing a cash out refinance for $535,000. Rate would stay the same. Payment would go up $2K. Want the cash for DCA into the queues and the small cash buffer. Man, wow, that's ballsy. Let's refinance at the top of the market and put it into the market. I don't know, man. What? Like, obviously, I can't give you personalized advice, but why? Like, go make some more money. Don't touch your equity. Why rob from your house to have a higher monthly payment? Like, what's your income? You know, that's kind of a missing question here. Is what's your income? You know, if watch, your income's like $7,000 a month, you know, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to just pay 28% of more of my income so I could go throw it into QQQM or whatever. That just sounds bad. It's a speculation at its finest. You know, it's certainly better than using margin, but I don't know, man, you can't convince me to be for that, man. It just doesn't sound good. That's not cautious. You do that when Kevin's 10 out of 10 on the bull scale. You know, you crack the refinance nut when everybody's bitching about how low stocks are and how the stock market crash has bankrupted them, that's when you crack that nut, dude. Top of the freaking market? Oh my God. Sorry. Nah, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. So what are we doing with rig counts? So total 2025 rig counts, 584. What do we got over here? Rig counts are actually coming down. Baker Hughes, let me get a chart. Can I not get a freaking chart? Apparently not. I don't know why this is so hard. Oh, here we go. Wow. Wow. So, yeah, rig counts have been collapsing. It's very interesting. You know, AI is booming so much, but I think the underlying economy outside of AI, you know, oil is trading like we're in a recession, right? So, let's slap some of these things in here. Okay. Oh, 100%. You'd expect rig counts to drop with how low this is. I mean, you're going to get under the break-even cost for rigs, right? So, oil, well, this is just a fact. Oil prices have been on a downtrend since 2022. Rig counts peaked in 2023. IMO, oil trades like we're in a recession. We're not, technically, due to AI spend, right? As a result, we get falling gasoline prices at the pump and lower input costs, disinflation. You know, this is why I think that, you know, this will broadly continue to see disinflation. It's not just this, but it's also, you're just trying to stroll. Somebody says if you buy STRC with margin, you could get 20% ROI. Yeah. STRC is going to bankrupt a lot of people. I'll just leave it there. So, very interesting. Okay, so this is the decline in oil. Because this affects the consumer. Wall Street Journal staff, what is this? Oil, we know that it dropped because of talk about this, but I want to see broadly what else. On Iran, that's all they're talking about. So only Iran. All right. I mean, there's more going on than just Iran. Is there any news on what's going on in Venezuela? Samuel trying to meet Kevin go on a rant. Yeah. Exactly. Let's see here. Who's really running Venezuela? Right. That's the big question right now. Oops. Let's see here. Venezuela. Okay. I can pull this. Hold on a sec. So who's really running Venezuela? Because I pay for it over here. I just have to go to a different tab. Who's running Venezuela? Let's see if I can get that article. So I want to see what they say. So who's actually running Venezuela? Delcy leads. Cabal, military have power supported by a wide network of loyalists, security agencies. System has remained intact. Oh, and it just kind of breaks down who the players are. Yeah, that's interesting. But a lot of Venezuela is still going to be a big old TBD what ends up happening there. It's not really regime change. Nothing's really changed. Okay. Somebody says figures mooning again. Are you serious? How am I supposed to buy more of it? Oh my gosh, 10 freaking %? Come on. I mean, I got a bunch of money in it, but I want to buy more of it. All right, whatever. Let's see here. Electric, TSMC, we saw that. OpenAI, fine. Not too much there. What's the Economist got for us? Okay, collapse of Iran. Private memo from central banks to government. You can come at the king, but you best not miss. Yeah. Let's see here. Passive investing a bubble. Well, I mean, you've kind of already seen a lot of the Mag 7s slow down. But the valuations don't seem that bad on a lot of the Mag 7s, except for Tesla. All the other Mag 7s seem really pretty cheap. So that'd be a counter. Oh, this is an old piece. Yeah, I mean, people have been talking about, Burry was even talking about this back in 2018. Bipartisan secret meeting to reshape FEMA. Ooh. Let's see here. Federal officer shoots person in leg after being attacked. After being attacked with a shovel and a broom handle while trying to make an arrest. Wow. A shovel. That's an interesting weapon of choice. So Iran's really trying not to get bombed, it looks like. All right. What about the Times? What do we have here? Trump threatens, so we saw that. Federal agents shoot, we saw that. 2 different reviews of Minneapolis, we know. It's actually not a terrible amount of financial news today. Let's go to the, what do the Doomers have for us? Doomers and Journal. Private credit drops safeguard to win deals. What is this? Private credit firms' efforts to reap leveraged debt from Wall Street is coming at a cost. Safeguards that made them less vulnerable to an economic downturn. Once rare, the same kind of permissive terms that were widespread on leveraged loans are becoming increasingly common. Large borrowers with more clout are pushing for and getting so-called covenant-light terms. Oh, right. Yeah, that is risky for the private equity companies, but it's better for the companies not to have all these sussy loan terms. 2026. I mean, this is loosening credit, really, not tightening credit. This is actually kind of bullish, frankly. Right now, top quality borrowers will command looser terms. Okay. I mean, that's wild to me. That after the private credit stress we saw last year, they're like, oh yeah, let's just go into 2026 having even fewer standards. That's crazy. Oil, anything else on oil over here? Iran tensions ease, we know that. IAEA reports that U.S. crude inventories rose Double expectations. Traders anticipate Venezuela will immediately resume oil imports. Right. And they're just going to the U.S. now. So that's another factor. It's not just this Iran thing. That was actually another factor that I was looking for, is what else is contributing to this. So Venezuela. Venezuela was temporarily blocked in December from exporting oil, restricted global oil market. That's now lifted, except that oil is going straight to the U.S. So our blend of oil is under 60 again, right? Yeah, we're at 59. Aha. Okay. Near-term oversupply. Right. But that's going to make it hard to go like drill, baby, drill in Venezuela, right? Or a near-term oversupply. Downplays risks. Halliburton downplays risks. Let's see here. Where's Halliburton? There we go. Exclusive interview with the Halliburton CEO. Upbuilt about Venezuela. Swiftly re-enter Venezuela. Downplaying the risks. Some form of non-government-backed assurance structure to ensure service providers were paid by the state oil company would build confidence. Right. Assurance for payment. Exxon says that Venezuela is uninvestable. Trump ruled out providing financial guarantees. Well, good. That's great. Maybe they'll use some of the money from the 50 million barrels of oil we got from them. Halliburton wants to be active in months rather than years. Wow. Now that's very interesting. So Halliburton thinks they can be active in Venezuela in months. That's huge. Most literature suggests it'll take years to really see activity from Venezuela. They're already down a third, right? So I think Venezuela, before December, was already down a third of their historic high. 1 million barrels a day, a third of previous high. Exxon says it'll take a lot of change in Venezuela to make investing profitable. Halliburton doesn't seem to care. Halliburton wants the lunch. That's interesting. More oil from existing wells. They'll jump into existing wells first. That makes sense. Yeah, because you should be able to get them back to this. You could then theoretically 2 to 3x their production just by going back to old highs, right? That'll take years. Okay, so new wells will take years. Wow. Wonder what people say about that. The company that does not pay its bills? What? Halliburton, who were active in Iraq? The jade. There's always jade in the comment section. That's why sometimes it's kind of funny to look at. Hold on, there's another Venezuela update right here. IMF says re-engagement with Venezuela to be determined by IMF members. Voting majority, Venezuela would have access to STRs. Venezuela public debt default, 180% of GDP. Venezuela remains deeply fragile. Right. Rapid currency deflation. Right. So, IMF still warning that Venezuela is deeply fragile. Makes sense. All right. How are our sticks doing? Oh, come on. It's at 12% now. This is some fugazi. Man, course members who bought Figure with me at IPO, they're making bank. This puppy's coming up on a double. And not in a lot of time either. Oh, whoa. What is going on over here? Holy smokes. What kind of line is this? What the hell? Look at that. Somebody put in a fat market order all the way up to 630. Oh, wow. I don't know if that's a Weeble glitch or what. But, I mean, a lot of what I'm seeing out there data-wise is pretty bullish. That's crazy. Okay. So, keep going. Looked at the info. FT. Trump's unpredictable policies to fuel shift from U.S. NATO troops in Greenland on a more permanent basis. Second person shot. Okay. Oh, has anybody ever seen the series Hijack on Apple TV? We just started watching it last night. Pretty fun. To do with it like a family to watch. I know we're only like 1.5 episodes or whatever in, but it was kind of entertaining. So, best at war in South Korea, weakness on like India tells companies to stop promising 10-minute service. Yeah, probably because it's unreasonable. Maersk resumes shipping through Red Sea. Oh, that's massive. Oh, that's huge. That's actually really deflationary. That's fantastic. No way. Oh, that's fantastic. I mean, just think about like some of the stuff that's going on right now. So first of all, like, reasons to be bullish. Okay. Oil prices structurally falling since 2022. Bullish spending, right? Consumer spending. Consumer spending. All right. Then we have Suez Canal trading reopening, closed due to Houthis firing rockets at our shippers during the Biden era, right? Finally reopening. That's deflationary, right? Deflationary. Okay, oil prices coming down. Deflationary. Okay, now watch this. Supreme Court tariffs likely that IEEPA gets struck down. Trump says he has other plans, but it's a midterm year. Risky to use. Guess what that is? That's deflationary, right? Okay. Labor market, Challenger and ADP suggests labor began to rebound in December. Bullish, soft landing, right? Then, oh man, what else? I'm trying to think of my list. China is exporting deflation around the world. That's bullish. Okay. Then you've got, what else do we have here? Oil prices. We saw retail sales. Consumer keeps spending, which is bullish. AI, while there will always be bag holders, still booming. 25% CAGR via TSMC expected through 2020 or 2030, which is pretty impressive. That means, NVIDIA's technology is also disinflationary chips and data centers, right? That supports application productivity layer with cheaper costs. I mean, this is obvious. Like, none of that is disputed. So these are all like really bullish, just facts, right? On top of that, Republicans considering reconciliation 2.0, right? And remember what reconciliation 2.0 had in it, just to look at some of the notes really quickly. Or was that puppy? The beige book from the Fed wasn't scary, right? Let me see here. GDP and beige book not suggesting we're falling off a cliff. That's bullish. Look at this reconciliation, man. This is just like some of this we already know, but just to get a quick summary of it in case you haven't seen my whole video on it. More tax benefits for stockholders. Same thing for real estate holders, real estate owners, and for business owners. So that was with lower capital gains taxes, right? Example, inflation adjusted, reduced capital gains taxes, tax-free sales of homes to tenants or first-time home buyers, etc. Like, these are just ideas right now, just ideas, but shows they really want to run it hot. It'll all add to the debt. But in the near term, it's still bullish. What else? What else am I missing here? So these are all pretty bullish. Obviously there are some risks, but we're just not seeing the layoff cliff yet. Layoff cliff in jobs still delayed. Maybe it won't come. So, kind of impressive. This is huge, though, that they're reopening this. This is really good. That actually benefits Tesla as well, mind you. Also benefits Tesla, their shipments to Berlin. These actually help enable Chinese exports. Suez shipments help China too. It's 1p. Apple's in an AI arms race. That's fine. And then, of course, he's pulling back on this. We don't know if Trump is bluffing or not. Either way, right? Bluff or not, on Iran. Geopolitics, it has geopolitical issues have historically always been buy the dip opportunities. Somebody says, what's making CoreWeave live? Probably the TSM news. How much they're printing chips. They got to go somewhere, right? Trump's worried about instability in Iran. Who's going to lead it? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay, we know. All right. Very interesting. Let's go look at the Atlanta Fed. Atlanta Fed. We are now at 5.3%. Real GDP. That's adjusted for inflation. For the fourth quarter. Remarkable. Just wild. Okay, cool. What else? Qs. Wow, rejected again. We just can't get through 627. Yeah. Jeez, man. $63 on figure? Wow. That's crazy. Oh, Tesla had a little bit of a rebound. Yeah, keep in mind, if you want to get my top 11 stocks to buy and my fundamental analysis behind all of these, yeah, surprise, surprise, figure is one of them. And it has been for a while. Go to meetkevin.com. You could use the birthday coupon code if you want. That'll expire on my birthday, and then we'll have a big price increase again. But remember, you get all the 9 courses, every trade alert, every private live stream, all the analysis we do in the mornings, the archive of analysis. And also, you could use the same coupon to get the ReInvestAI. We just got some really cool testimonials of people buying homes using the ReInvestAI, and they're finding great deals with it. So I'm personally very excited with what's going on. Nice breakout over here as well. Very, very cool. Okay, let's see what else. So, Greer, Honduras negotiations. Okay, that's not really news. Let's see here. Oh, I didn't even put in the one big beautiful bill refunds, right? That's another thing. OBB refunds, you know, they'll certainly be like a lot of that GDP. Well, that's my opinion, but a lot of GDP may be AI, but that may be benefiting from R&D tax credit, R&D tax credits, and more rapid write-offs, right? Which is also good. Okay, cool. Just check this. Hold on one sec. Okay. So where was I? I don't know where I was, but anyway. Okay, I'm gonna save that. Okay, so the InvestAI is in the Meet Kevin app. So when you have the Meet Kevin app and you buy it on the website, you'll unlock the oh yeah, look at the yield curve coming down now as well. See, look at that relaxation in the yield curve. It's actually pretty exciting. Yield curve compressing again, which is good. Yes. Oh, so that's good. What else? Man, I have to say, this is all quite exciting. All this second wave of inflation stuff is just like, I personally hope there's some kind of dump, and then you get some opportunity to buy more. But I mean, there are plenty of stocks that are pretty cheap right now. X restricts ability to create explicit images with Grok. Yeah, that was getting a little out of hand. That was pretty crazy. So, well, let's try to use X less. It's honestly, you have to like filter the cesspool to find the nuggets. All right, let's see here. What else? Not much else. Okay, so we checked CNBC, we checked Economist, we checked. Yeah, that's wild. Oh yeah, this private credit thing still expanding is insane to me. Okay. Private credit expanding. Like it's probably suggests the biggest bubble ever is ahead of us, not behind us. You've got private credit expected to expand substantially in 2026. Their exposure to loans that are covenant light. Wild in the face of, I spelled this wrong, substantially. In the face of what we saw at the end of last year. That's pretty remarkable. Somebody says SoFi is great. Let me see. SoFi. I have SoFi in here somewhere. I just looked at them not that long ago. SoFi. Yeah, SoFi's been issuing a lot, and that's kept them somewhat sideways. But I think they're a great company, honestly. Codified drug costs, blah, 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 blah. Labor market. That's Argentina. OpenAI seeks suppliers for planned robotics and device push. Dude, anything for them to raise more money. Like, I feel like they just want to get into stuff to raise money. I don't know. Maybe I'm like jaded. This, oh yeah, and the gold and silver pump is the inflationary concern. It's relaxed a little bit, but a lot of this is just, fear-based right now. If the fears go away, right? If fears go away and this bullishness manifests, I'm going to say this. If fears of inflation fade in 2026, especially as IEPA go away, gold and silver fears, aka inflation, debt, and geopolitical, could fade rapidly, and you might see the worst crash in gold and silver since, I don't know, 100 years ago, whatever. Like, that wouldn't surprise me at all, because the fears are what are creating the support right now. So if the fears go away, oopsie doopsies, right? Oh, yeah. Somebody's asking me about AI for Netflix. Yeah, I actually think that a lot of people are nervous about, what's AI going to do? Like, Duolingo is selling off because people are nervous that, what do you need to learn a language for? You could just have AI translate for you. Okay, fine. That may be true. But with Netflix, what I actually think is really exciting is you're going to be able to create content substantially cheaper. Like, you need some person sitting there actually putting the narrative together, prompting the AI, generating with the AI. And if you could at the same time film and have actors and supplement what they're doing with AI, what you're really doing is you're reducing the costs of production for Netflix production. But I don't think you're gonna type into, Google or Gemini video anytime soon and go, give me a hit 14 season show like Walking Dead, and you're gonna have it. That's a very long time away. But, if Walking Dead is filming on a green screen and they're like, they could probably edit in an explosion 10 times faster with AI, right? So what you should actually be thinking about is the synergy that comes from AI with people whose full-time job it is to make good content. That's where the money is, not in replacing Netflix. That's my opinion. And then obviously Netflix is an advertiser haven that isn't even a significant part of Netflix's revenue yet. Like the advertising side, that's just getting started, which is insane. They literally themselves call their advertising revenue insignificant. And they just started. It's crazy. Sorry. I get really excited about it. So. The worst gold crash since the gold rush. Yeah, honestly, it could say something like that. I'm situated in the hottest geopolitically unstable region, aka East Asia. I can confirm nobody's feeling that anxiety much. Yeah, it's a lot of it saber rattling and talk. Kevin, don't go to college, learn to prompt. No. Learn to prompt is so 2023. Like I said, if you want to have balls of steel, okay? If you're 19 years old and you want to have balls of steel, you're going to go to trade school on nights and weekends and college the other days, or, college 2 days a week or whatever. You go neural nets and machine learning on one end, you work out your brain, and then you work out your brain and your muscles, because you also need a brain in construction, learning a trade. You will be bulletproof for a very long time. So, that's my take. All right, I'm going to go. I'm going to go eat something. I'll be back with some videos later. I love y'all. See you later. Goodbye. I love you. Go get the Meet Kevin courses. Go get the ReInvestAI. It's amazing. You'll love it. What's coming, by the way? What is coming is insane. Once we get our valuation AI app, the valuation AI algo released into the app, I feel like it's just going to 10x what the app already is, which is insane what it already is. It's really fun. So, all right, folks, I gotta go.